They can even break into your home, steal, relax, cook, eat, watch TV, because they know before you leave office, you put, I'm leaving office. Office is bay. You should get me.
Hello guys, welcome to the Inside Life TV show. My name is Ruth Ando, and as usual, this is the only platform where we share real life issues that can actually motivate you, encourage you, and inspire you as well. Today we are here with a very important personality, but before I introduce my guest, I'd like to say a very big thank you to Fiandat Ghana Rental. Anything about rentals, they are there for you. If you are an individual going for a tour, a vacation, or you are a group of people going for funerals, weddings, what have you, they are the best people, the right people to contact. They are on the Spinters Road, 1 minute away from the KFC. You can contact them on 0244 640 734 and they will sort you out with everything concerning car rentals. So today we are here with a very important personality. Like I said, he is a foreign and security analyst, Mr Adib Saani. Say, you're welcome to the Inside Life TV show.
Thank you very much, Ruth.
We are very honored that you really found time in your busy schedule to give us such an opportunity. We'd like to know how growing up was like for you.
That is a loaded question. Interestingly, I come from a very large family in Tamale. And my father had 4 wives and 25 children. And guess my position? I'm the very last.
Wow.
So one of my brothers is the Northern Regional chairperson for the National Commission for Civic Education. So one day he went to a village to talk to them about family planning. Apparently one of the villagers knows him so well and our father. So when it was time for questions and answers, the man rose up and was like, "You, Sani Razak, I know where you come from. Today you have the temerity to come and tell us to plan our families. Meanwhile, your father gave birth to you a lot." And he molded an oven in the compound. So our bread needs was taken care of at home. Okay. And you people were eating bread. You were enjoying. Today you are coming to tell us to plan our families. And you know what my brother told him? He told him that if it's because we are many, that's why we are eating bread. But if we were few, we will not eat bread. We'll eat cake. Okay. So the lesser, the better. Exactly. So it's a very huge family. Every single one of the children went to school, and we also grew up with cousins, nephews, nieces, and it was when we grew up completely that we got to know, this is not my blood brother, this is actually a cousin. So we're many in the house, and my father took care of, his brother's children, his sister's children, and it was quite a huge compound. And I remember when it's Salah time, you have almost the whole of Tamale converging at our house, because there were instances where 16 cows were killed at a go, in the house. So you can imagine the size. But we grew in a very conservative home, where you are taught virtues, where you are taught to say, yes, you passed gas and not the adults, even though the adults passed the gas. Where you are taught not to interrupt an adult and say, you don't understand, let me explain. No. Where you are taught to not just knock and wait for response before you enter a home. Where you are taught to take off your shoes before you get near an adult. And trust me, we are benefiting from that today. Myself, my siblings, who are scattered across the length and breadth of the globe, Australia, Canada, US, Ghana. We are benefiting from it today. So I must say, we came from very humble beginnings, but very rich in cultural and religious values.
Wow, that's very overwhelming. I mean, some people are living in a very simple house, like they are like 2, 3, and the parents are not even able to control them. I'm surprised your parents did that. They did a very good job. Today,
And when we were growing up, we didn't also know this is your mother, this is your biological mother, this is not your biological mother. We were so united. Every person took care of every person's child. But today, nobody takes care of anybody's child. And my father is a big malam in Tamale. But guess what? I attended mission schools.
oh wow,
I attended SDA, where I was the SP in primary school. I attended Nyoni Presby GHS, where I was the SP as well. Then later I went to Tamasco, where I was the SP as well. So he valued education. My father, when someone is sick, sometimes, when someone is sick, of high fever and the person is behaving in a funny manner, then they say spirits have entered the person. Then my father goes like, go away. It is high fever. Take the person to the hospital. He didn't play with hospital. If he was alive, I'm sure he would have been the first person in Ghana to receive the COVID-19 vaccine. No, he's not alive. All my parents, my father and all the 4 wives are gone.
they are gone, but the legacy still lives on. We thank God for that. You are a security analyst. Now, taking you back to your school days, did you see any gap in the security system in both the foreign and Ghanaian security system that made you choose such career?
Well, I've always been interested in security. As early as primary school, I knew the capital towns of almost every country in the world. Way back in JHS and even SHS, we used to hold debates on foreign policy. I could share some of the tips with you, where someone would pose as a Taliban spokesperson. Apparently, that young man who poses as a Taliban spokesperson, he is now a staff of the British High Commission in Ghana. Wow. And the one who posed as the American government spokesperson is the director of operations in the office of the vice president. Wow. And I've also chosen to be a security analyst. So, from childhood, we've been very interested in all of these issues. So, for many people, they are not surprised that I went into it. So, one lesson is worth learning. Exactly. What you are interested in, you go for it. Even if it is shoemaking, once you are interested in it, just go for it and you would go places.
Wow. Okay. So, in Ghana here, we have various laws governing our transportation, mining sectors, and what have you. But we realize that day in, day out, foreigners are coming in here to actually deal in illegal activities. Even some of our people are into such activities. We want to know, is it that those who are in charge of enforcing those laws on people who commit such devious activities are not doing their work, or the equipment to do so is scarce?
Well, I'm glad the way you are loading the questions. Okay, let me see where to start. Okay, the thing is, we have laws governing every aspect of the Ghanaian society. We are not a banana republic. We are not in a jungle. We live in a human society. And to keep people in check, you need laws. But the laws doesn't have to exist on paper. They have to bite. If you have read, and I would recommend, if you haven't, read about Sanshu, The Art of War. It is worth reading. It teaches you everything about life. Trust me, if you read it, you would walk out there with a renewed energy. And one of the laws says that sometimes to prove you are serious, you have to bite. At the height of the wars in China, ancient China, Sanshu is a military commander. He came to tell the king that the soldiers are being killed. I don't have enough men. Give me your concubines. And concubines were usually the king's women, all around him, sleeping with them. And the king said, oh, but they are spoiled girls. How do you expect them to fight? And Sanshu told him, no, you give me the opportunity and I'll teach them how to fight. So the king said, well, you try them. So the first day he paraded the concubines, they were laughing, they were playing with him because they thought it wasn't serious. You know what he did? He beheaded one of them. Okay. When he beheaded one of them, then they were like, whoa, this guy means serious. He means business. Okay. And legend has it that they became the most potent fighting force at that time. So sometimes you have to prove a point by making sure that people are punished for doing the wrong things. That's why I was quite surprised when Ghanaians, as usual of us, exhibited that hypocritic tendency with Ikuapin Polo. The thing is, she's done the wrong thing. The judge was even lenient. But when you say free Ikuapin Polo, it looks like we are a banana republic. So me too, today, I can perpetrate a crime and I go like, oh, I have children, so please free me. You understand what what trajectory are you? You know, we don't do things that way. So the laws are there, but the problem is the laws don't bite. Secondly, there's no commitment on the part of people who should know better, particularly the politicians, in improving the security situation in the country. I'm saying so because when you take a cursory look at the growing tendency of insecurity in the country, since 2017, it's been growing. According to police statistics, it is general information, it's online. According to even the US Department of State, according to the World Bank, on annual basis, over 500 Ghanaians are murdered. And a lot of these murders go unreported. Serious crime, violent crime, according to the US Department of State, in their 2019 advisory report to Ghana, and the latest one published last year, September, points to the fact that there is growing violent crime incidents in Ghana. You see, unfortunately, the same old way we've approached security is the same way. Buy pickups for the police, buy helicopters for them, and we think that is it. But you see, when you do that, you are only succeeding in ensuring interim peace, which is not sustainable. The insecurity would happen again. To be able to deal with the insecurity situation in Ghana in a sustainable manner, you need to approach it from the fundamentals, and the fundamentals is human security. Okay. Human security is so important. Do you know that if you wake up and your taps don't flow, it's human insecurity? You are in a state of insecurity. Yes. Do you know if you don't have food to eat, it's insecurity? Shelter to sleep under is insecurity. If you don't have a job, it's insecurity. If you don't have money on you, it's insecurity. But we think that insecurity is when gunfire, people are shooting in the air or shooting at each other. But if we address these insecurities from the very fundamentals, because there's a direct correlation between the human insecurity and the physical insecurity. And I'll give you one example. Because of the lack of jobs and opportunities in the hinterlands, people feel that the only way to succeed in life is to come to Accra, Kumasi, Kasua, Ashaima. Exactly. Because Kofi or Seydou came to Accra, returned to the village with a Toyota Corolla, you feel that when you also come to Accra, you must get the Toyota Corolla some. So when you come to Accra, and your expectations are not well met, oh, it's not that easy after all, you become frustrated, you become disenchanted, and you could become belligerent. That is when you see them going into the land guard enterprise, which is usually a precursor to robbery. So you see, there's a direct correlation, because some people steal as a means to survival, others steal as a means to luxury. So if we are able to deal with the human insecurities, we will be solving a lot of our insecurity challenges, including the Galamsey menace we are fighting over and over again.
Wow, this is very deep. Yes, a very deep knowledge. Yeah. So we would also like to know. There are lots of recent issues about murder, um, cutting of human parts for rituals and all those stuff. But I want to know, should enforcing security only be limited to security agencies?
That is a very intelligent question. I say so because a lot of us are so nonchalant, so indifferent about our security because we feel it is abaye juma. We feel it is the work of the men and women in uniform. But you know, most of security is our responsibility. You get me? So at the very personal level, whether you are at home, in the streets, at work, at the marketplace, there's the need for you to exercise some degree of security alertness or situational awareness, like they say in criminology. Most of us are firefighters when it comes to security. We wait until something happens before we start looking for solutions. We are reactive rather than being proactive to security issues. Hence, we become very vulnerable. We don't keep an eye on what is happening in our communities. I remember there was an incident with a diplomat who was kidnapped. Later, the kidnappers were found, they were arrested, and the diplomat freed. According to the neighbors, they were like, these young men moved to town, not moved to that area not long ago. They drive unregistered vehicles. They don't work during the day. They move only at night. Their demeanor, disposition, posture doesn't make sense, but everybody was diufiasem. So you see, if they had trusted their instincts and reported to the authorities, I'm sure we would have been able to prevent it from happening. So at the very personal level, we need to exercise that level of discretion. Our social media habits is also one thing worth talking about. We give out too much information. In the past, before the advent of social media, before criminals come after you, they subject you to surveillance. And with the surveillance, they are able to establish what we call a profile of you. A profile meaning they know everything about you. They know what time you leave home, what time you return, what time you drop your children at school, what time you pick them, everything about you. So they can even break into your home, steal, relax, cook, eat, watch TV, because they know before you leave office, you put, I'm leaving office. Office is bay. You get me? And our children, we give out too much information. So now with a click of a button, you know everything about someone. Everything. And these children become very vulnerable to kidnappings. Because someone would pose as you sending him to go pick your child. And the school would ask him questions. He knows everything because everything is on social media. You know, so we need to be very careful with the information. And we click on everything we see. Sometimes you receive links. Click here for free tickets to Dubai.
Exactly.
And we click. And there are phishing sites. PHI, phishing sites. When you click, they phish your private information, and that is when they use it for targeted marketing. So you and someone inbox will discuss shoes. The next minute you go on Facebook, you see shoe adverts.
Okay.
It means your profile has been compromised. But for some, they would use it for very dubious things. They can use it to harm you. Because sometimes we keep private information on our phones. And once your phone or device is compromised, they know where you are at any point in time. They listen to you and all that. So you can speak with someone. I'm sending someone for their money. His name is so and so. If he comes, he's wearing this shirt. He would give you this code. They are listening to everything. And you can be compromised. So please, let's avoid clicking anything we see. Sometimes you see porn links. Oh, click here to see Rihanna sex tape. When you click it, they just hijack your system easily. So we need to think before we click. Anything that involves us giving out money before getting the service, let's avoid it. So these online marketers, some of them are fake. They will take the money, you will never receive the shoe or the bag. So tell the person, look, you send it, let the dispatch bring it to me. When he arrives, I'll pay for it. So please, we need to be very careful. You go to these online marketers who sell cars, you can imagine buying a 2020 Toyota Camry for 10,000 cedis, and someone will fall for this. You see, so we need to be, and these are educated people who fall for this. Just recently, a friend of mine who has a master's degree fell for a mobile money fraudster who asked him to send back the 1,000 cedis. So people don't know. We need to educate. We have a cybersecurity policy document that was first passed in 2016. It's been amended 2020. And one of those pillars is to educate the public. So once the public understand, they can also play a major role in maintaining law and order in our communities.
Okay, well, with what you've said, do you think the government can intensify training and workshops for people like students, like a layman, even a layman, so that we can all be abreast with these security issues?
Well, I think, yes, it's the responsibility of government to ensure its population is safe. In political science, we say social contracts. We give them our mandates, they protect us, okay? However, government cannot do it alone. We can also, media, we can educate the people. I'm a security player. I have an NGO. From time to time, we educate people out there. We go to markets, places. Sometimes we collaborate with other civil society organizations. So if you do your bit, I do mine, government does is. In the end, everybody will be educated and there will be better awareness or consciousness about the need for proactive security.
Thank you very much. In Israel, when you complete school, you have to join the army. And so they are very good with the skill of war. Hold on. Is it warfare? They are very good with the skill of warfare. I want to ask, can Ghana adopt such strategy?
Well, it is called conscription. Ghana, we have national service, but in Israel, Egypt, North Korea, and so many other countries across the globe, they conscript you into the military. After, it depends, some 2 years, some 3 years. North Korea has the highest. You do about 10 years. Israel, I think, is about 2 years. So you decide to stay or you leave. So in the end, almost every adult knows how to fire a gun. Almost every adult is security conscious because they are surrounded by perceived enemies. You see, so because of the nature of that country, which is different from ours, we cannot adopt, because already in Ghana, people pay and are getting duped every single day to join the military. We are begging, we are forcing, we are using protocols, politicians to join the military. So we don't even get to join. How much more get everybody involved? Like, we will all be soldiers, you know. So it's a different system altogether. We don't have the resources to support that. Secondly, where we find ourselves is different from where they find themselves. I mean, it's also historic in nature, you know, since the formation of the state of Israel in the 1940s and the wars that have culminated as a result. We can talk about the Yom Kippur, we can talk about the 6-Day War, we can talk about the invasion of southern Lebanon in the early 1980s, we can talk about the Gaza war, their war with Hamas, their war with Hezbollah in 2006 and all that. They are always on high alert. That is why they are making sure that every adult has some level of training.
Okay, that is so wonderful. I wish we can also adopt such strategy, because honestly speaking, there are lots of things happening these days and they are so worrisome. Yes. Maybe somebody is looking at somebody is watching us right now, somebody which he or she has also find his or her purpose. I would like to ask, if someone misplace his or her purpose, what is the best way to really find your fit?
Very philosophical. Sit back, relax, lick your wounds, and re-strategize. It happens to every human being. At a point in life, you feel the whole world is against you. You feel the world is crashing. Someone would even be cutting bread. You would tell the person he's making noise. You understand? Just relax. For me, when it happens that way, I pray. Okay? When you seek solace, strength in prayer, that can be one giant step. So when you cool down, don't make decisions at the spur of the moment. You might mess yourself up more. But when you relax, you calm your nerves, then you can re-strategize. Because you know what? Our strength doesn't lie in us never falling. It rather lies in us rising when we fall. That is where our strengths lie. And mind you, there is no successful businessman in Ghana who can confidently say he has never failed in a business module. Before this, I had a block factory. It failed woefully. Like me boka and kasa. Like I lost a lot of money. I even lost a plot, a very strategic plot, and it's normal. It happens, okay? But if you give up, then, like they say, it will over you. But when you rise up to the occasion, that is when you learn lessons and you do things better next time. So that is the secret. And the tenacity of purpose is very important. Keep pushing. Keep doing what you love. When you start, people would laugh at you. People would say derogatory things about you. Mind you, when I started this security analysis, people were laughing at me. Hey, look at this one to wear from him. People would put my picture on social media and be insulting what I'm wearing. Look at him with his pink jacket. And my wife would call, my sister would call and go like, Adib, you should stop this. It hurts me when I see the comments. Especially you go to some of these popular portals, they will publish and people will come insult. They would insult the life out. They would insult your ancestors. Okay, look, don't be undaunted. One day, my godfather went to an event, and there were people you claim to be your friends sitting talking about me. He felt bad. He was hurt. He came out. He was like, Adib, I like what you are doing, but go to school, improve yourself. And I went to school after school after school from my pocket. And guess what? One day I went with my godfather to an event, and people were like, oh, Adib, you are doing well, we are proud of you. They were happy. And you know what? When we left, my godfather was like, you know what? I never mentioned their names, but those were the people who were saying those ill things about you. I was like, wow, thank you for the inspiration. That is why I'm always, anytime I get that opportunity, I'm thankful to Muhammad Hadi, King Jack. He's my godfather. He's been my source of inspiration. This is someone who would give you his all and sit empty. He selfless, and it's not just exclusive to me. Anybody he meets, this is someone I will do anything for. And I would want to use your platform to say a very big thank you. Ali Karba, God bless King Jack for me.
That's awesome, Mr. King Jack, wherever you are. King Jack.
Yes.
King Jack.
That's what he's popularly called.
Oh, okay. Mr. King Jack. May Allah bless you so much. I want to use this opportunity to say a very big thank you for gracing our screen with such knowledge. We pray that the good Lord will always guide you and always give you an in-depth knowledge wherever you go, wherever you are, so that we, the youth coming up, and even generations yet unborn, can benefit from such knowledge. God bless you.
God bless you too. Thank you so much for passing through.
I hope that we'll take our security into our own hands, and we should be very careful about the information we put out there, because it can actually lead us into problems we might regret later.